Morning. I'm running a little later than I usually do. I usually leave at 9:30 if I have to be there at 10. It's supposed to be the last day of my Z-Pack, which is kind of exciting. I washed my face really good and I took an awesome bath today where I was able to shave. And while being sick, I totally wasn't in the mood for any of that. So that was nice. And I'm kind of dealing with a bunch of different dramas right now, actually. I almost don't even know where to begin. I'm trying to adjust this thing before I get on the road. Oh well, just cut off whatever. So, where do I even begin? Alright, so Aquarium Man that was supposed to purchase my tank is canceling. And basically, one person was interested and then he basically found a sponsor. Yet, these guys, they also decided to put a down payment on another aquarium. And then the guy refused to give back the deposit. So, at this point, I'm like, why is this my fault? So I try to, reason with him in some aspect and also be, a person to hear everything out. And I also reflected back at them, telling the truth. The tanks, they're normally $10 a gallon, brand new. Now, I didn't tell him the specifics of my tank. I assume he already knows. My tank is 375 gallons, at least. And my tank's never been measured, so it may even be 400. However, I've been told a few times that it's 375. And that's what I was told when I bought it. And I also paid to have a beautiful stand made for it, which, as I mentioned before, that is excessively important in the showmanship of running a business. And when you book the tank out, we charge about $1,000 for the day to book the tank out. I'm thinking now about how we should probably be charging 53 cents a mile too, because we have to rent a truck usually, unless they have a trailer and things like that set up. I'm gonna go with this guy. It's always a nuisance to get across from our way. So, I don't really mind about all the tank business. Personally, like I said, I find it as a sign to hold on to it, and I want to sell the tank to someone who I can actually still be intimately connected with the aquarium. I would like to be able to send anyone that's trying to book me with a tank to this person, so I can be like, listen, I got a gig, I'd like to book the tank, and then that person can have the business, and then I don't have to deal with that aspect of the aquarium maintenance and all that. Now, if I have to maintain pH levels and heat of the water, all that good stuff, I can handle that as well. I know how to do that through experience. The ideal thing also would be to perhaps sell it to a fellow mermaid, and then she can run all that stuff and enjoy that as I have for the past few years, and I can still have the benefits of performing inside the tank and being underwater in it, and I would enjoy that. So now I also want to talk about some other stuff that I'm dealing with that is suddenly starting to make a lot of sense now that I'm connecting the dots backwards. So I have this woman that's been in my life for about 2 years, and she calls herself loyal, and at times acts as my submissive, and sends tributes, and was madly in love with me. Now, I'm aware she was lying to her family about her having sexual attraction to women, and understandably so, with her family being religious. Now, this woman would say things to me like, oh, I don't need a cage to be loyal, and be extremely pleasant to have relations with, and we would laugh, and she was someone I could always tell everything to, and we became really good friends, is what I was under the impression of. Now, she would also do things like send me roses and food arrangements compliments and just things that even guys wouldn't even do for me, you know, and it just, she really got in my mind and got to read a lot of my writings about what I really enjoy and what I want in a relationship, and she was incredible at reflecting exactly what I desired. Yet my intuition always told me, like, no, she's not the one, stay away, this isn't good. And there are many times where I tried to push her away because things just didn't feel right, or just her behavior, she would get excessively jealous and would just do like really nasty things as a human being, and I was just like total turn off, and I was like, this is not who I want to spend the rest of my life with. And it wasn't really someone that I had that chemistry for, where I was like sexually attracted to and wanted to be with her all the time. I didn't feel that way for her. And sometimes I even wondered, like, why? What's wrong with her? I mean, she does all these things and loves me like no other. And now I find out she's been in a relationship with a man for 9 years. And she's managed to not only keep the secret of loving women more than men, yet she has also kept from me, her goddess, her love of her life, the fact that she's been in a relationship. And how I found out is I have been contacted from the man, furious at me with how much money she's spending on me, and how much time, and how apparently she drops him every time I suddenly fly out to California. And not only that, what infuriates me the most is that she has considered herself my best friend, yet has aired all my dirty laundry that I confided and trusted in this woman. And she told him everything, and now he's using my information against me. Which I don't mind in some aspect, because I know my truth. And I'm very happy with my life. I'm happy with the relationships that I do have with people. And this is honestly boiled down to the fact that I have married submissives. And the fact that I have, in the past, been in relationships with a married person. Now, the museum was completely consensual between both parties, the female and the man. It just didn't work out well, and that's okay. I had my first poly relationship, and I learned from it. Now, being a person who also loves men and women, I have grown from that point, because I'll tell the truth, when I was a child and I was realizing my sexual attractions as a middle schooler even, or even before then, I honestly knew. Now, I grew up thinking, oh man, I would love a husband and a wife. I could have both. I could play with the girl's hair, and we could kiss, and we could all love one another, and just the idea seemed great. Now, the relationship that I had was not a healthy relationship, to say the least. There was a lot of jealousy and misunderstanding and miscommunication and the two-facedness kind of thing, like compartmentalization, basically, like, oh, treat this woman like this because she's been in my life 20 years, and then, oh, this girl, she's 25 years old, and blah, blah, blah. So there was that aspect of that, and I just find it really more disappointing and hurtful more than anything. Like, what does me choosing to have a relationship with a married man, which I love, have anything to do with the fact that your girlfriend kept you a secret from me? Like, how does my relationships affect you? I deserve to be happy. And I'll admit, I have been in a relationship with someone who is married, and the wife didn't know. And I've honestly never been happier than when I was in that relationship, because this person just understood me, and I enjoy our friendship, and I knew that it wouldn't last forever. And I enjoyed the company we had, I enjoyed the sexual relations, and I enjoy the fact that they could be honest with their spouse. So, it is what it is. I mean, I've learned from it, and I personally choose to not have relationships with any other married people than the two people in my life that I have chosen. I just never want to do that again, and I hope to not be in a position that I'm in now where someone keeps this kind of huge secret from me. And what's funny is she had given the person shit, the married man shit, for keeping a secret from his wife when she had been keeping the secret of him from me and me from him. And now he's obsessively thinking that we have been sexually active when I have done nothing with this woman. And I can't help yet still to arise these emotions. And now I'm thinking back, so this man has had all this pent-up energy about me, and in these past month, I'm assuming, this man has been like spewing such negativity towards my direction until he finally blows up and decides to contact me. So I'm thinking back, what if this has to do with the fact that I've been cleansing all of this energy and bleeding for so long? And personally, I told the woman to just basically not contact me anymore. I've just had enough, and I feel like at this point, like, there's nothing she could do to really earn her place back in my court. Even if she sent me a $300 tribute today, I don't think I would even consider allowing that. I mean, maybe I would if she does that, but it's a joke. It's a bad joke at that, okay? So, dealing with that, and it's really depressing more than anything, as I said before, because she's acting like she loves both of us, when in reality, she has no love and no respect for either of us. And it sucks, and this is what I'm talking about before, where when you're a goddess, mistress, dominatrix, this is some of the things that things get ugly, and then you're stuck in the middle of it because the spouse finds out that you were the mistress. And that's exactly how I got involved with my second married man, basically. He started off as my submissive, and we met once, and it was love at first sight. And it was really fun, and someone that I could completely be myself with. And I know that my secrets are safe with that person, and I can confide in them, and they will always be someone in my life that I cherish and that I can have to talk to, and it doesn't have to be all about sexual relations. Unlike a lot of people, especially men, who usually once they find out they can't have sexual relations with you anymore, they disappear. How funny. So, for me, I'm seeking a life partner. I am interested in someone being completely romantic with, and making out, and climbing rooftops, and jumping into water, going scuba diving, and I know what I will have. And from all of these unhealthy relationships and poor choices, I'm learning what I won't have, and red flags to watch out for, and things to be aware of. Now, the biggest thing and lesson that's screaming at me today is, if she was willing to lie to her family and keep a huge secret like that, what makes me any different? Okay, so if someone is talking badly about other people to you, there is no reason for them not to be talking poorly of you behind your back. So consider that today's lesson. Now I'm getting ready to go to work. I have about 9 minutes. I am further away from my establishment than I like to be. However, they are not excessively strict about being a few minutes late. I'm still kind of congested a little bit. I'm going to have to definitely take that Z-Pack. I'm dealing with a lot of other things. However, like I said, this video's running out. Perhaps I'll start one more before I go there. I think I'm going to do that, so I'll see you shortly.